Hello guys, welcome to this part of the tutorial. In this very video we are going to be writing the functionalities for displaying the messages within our chat application. So on the browser on my left we are logged in as Mary Ann, and on the browser on my right, on the right part of my screen, we are logged in as Mark Chidozie. So on the first browser, which is the one by the left, we are going to choose to be chatting with Mark Chidozie. Then on the browser by the right, we are going to choose to be chatting with Mary Ann. Then from the Mary Ann account, which is the one opened on the browser by the left, we are going to be sending just hey. So that is just all we need to do. Now let's go into our chat.php file. So I just created this. We've really done, actually done nothing much. We just created, 3 variables and then assigned the action, which is to fetch all chats, sender ID, which we've gone through in the previous video, receiver ID, just like that. And then all we need to do is this, just URL. Okay, you need to include jQuery's Ajax function. Then the URL, you're going to set it to server.php. Then the type of the request, you're going to set that to post. Then the data, you will leave blank for now. Then success function response. And that is all you need to do. This very div here, this one at the center, I gave it an ID which is chatbox. So that is where we are going to be displaying all the user messages. So we are going to be appending the messages from the database to that very div. So chatbox.html, we are going to be saving response. And that is all you need to do for that part. Then here action, comma, then sender ID, sender ID. Also do that for the receiver ID. And that is pretty much all we need to do for this part. Then let's go over to the server.php. In the server.php already check if the action sent to the server is fetch all chats. Then I just accepted the sender ID and accepted the receiver ID. Then we are going to create this query to select all the messages as long as the sender ID matches the one sent to the server and the receiver ID matches the one sent to the server. So to achieve that, so you select all from TBL messages where sender ID. So just delete this first and then create open parentheses, close parentheses, and then we have sender ID equals sender underscore ID, and receiver ID equals receiver underscore ID. Or I told you right from the beginning of this tutorial, in some instances we are going to be the senders, and in some other instances we are going to be the receiver. So or sender ID equals receiver ID, and receiver ID equals sender ID. So whether we are the ones sending or we are the ones receiving, we are going to be getting our messages displayed in the div. So what you need to do is to create a variable result, MySQLi underscore query, connect and query. Then if you are going to check if there are messages between both users or not. So if MySQLi underscore num rows result for 0, simply means there's no message, there's no chat existing between the two users. Then echo just h3, close h3, class text center. Then just write say hi to start a conversation. Say hi to start a conversation. Otherwise, while row equals mysql underscore fetch associatively result, they are going to create a variable output and leave it blank first. So variable output equals let's just first create a div and close the div just here, and then create a paragraph tag, and then just drop the messages. So row message. Then we have to, after the while loop, echo the output so that we can just view our messages. So refresh the page and you can see we are now seeing the messages. So let's open up the other browser and then refresh it also, and you can see we now have the messages. So from the Dozie account, let's just type OK and then send that, and you can see the message appears here and appears here also. Then let's just type wow just here, and then you can see the message has appeared in both browsers. So what we now need to do is to design both messages, but to do that I'm not going to be designing the messages, both the sent messages and the received messages, in this very video, because the time left at my screen recorder's duration is actually too short for that. I'm going to be ending this very video, and then in the next video we are going to be designing the messages properly. Thank you for watching the video up to this part. Bye.